It was heartbreaking. This windowless warehouse has chain link fences, and kids are separated by their age and by their gender. One of the images that just is seared in my mind is seeing these three brothers, I assume, who are lying on these thin mattresses that are provided in one of these chain link cages. And they were cuddled together, holding on to each other for dear life. No idea where their parents were, no idea what the future was. A lot of us remember when we were kids, when we got lost in the department store. When I was 4 years old, that happened to me, and I was probably gone for 5 or 10 minutes, but it was in my mind that I'd lost my mom. And I remember that to this day. And can you imagine these kids where they really have lost their mom? The Trump administration has set this up in this impulsive way where the agencies aren't even coordinated, so that a parent who came in might get deported with no knowledge about who to call or how to find and locate their child. The idea that these kids are just adrift was really heartbreaking. And this is not a Republican-Democratic thing. This is just a parent whose motivation is to provide for the safety and the security of their child. I was going to say this is un-American, but this is being done by the President of the United States with the authority that the President has. And you know, he's making these arguments about it's the Democrats' fault or not.
It's very strongly the Democrats' fault.
That's absurd. I mean, let's cut that off. End this. It takes a phone call from the President of the United States, and it is over, this policy of family separation.
We could have something done very quickly.
This is a very self-conscious decision on the part of the President, Attorney General Sessions, about how to put the squeeze on Congress to give them their version of immigration reform.
We cannot get them to sign legislation.
Just a cruel and heartless approach to politicking by the President, where if he holds these kids hostage, these innocent children hostage, he thinks that'll somehow get the Congress to give him his punitive immigration plan.
If the Democrats would sit down instead of obstructing, we could have something done very quickly.
They're violating, by the way, the International Treaty on Asylum. All countries, including the United States, understand that if somebody comes and asks for help, that's not a crime. And we would give them a hearing and determine whether we can grant the asylum request. You know, a person who asks for help, they may not get it, and there's limits on what any country can do. But the idea that under the Trump administration, you criminalize that request so that then you can put the parent in the criminal justice system, and then you have to, quote, take the child away and then blame the victim, that's outrageous. Whatever your position is on immigration. You know, we can have a fight with the President or a disagreement about the wall or what's border security. But what we can't do, any of us, is inflict harm on innocent children in order to get our way and our point of view the right policies should be. The idea anyone would use governmental authority to take a child out of the arms of a parent is so abhorrent that it shocks the conscience. Showing up at America's door, knocking on the door, and asking for some help. That's a crime under the Trump administration.
And that's the way it is.